Bore da a croeso I Gymru. Good morning and welcome to Wales. I'm being tracked by some cows there. They've been following me through the field. I'm going to work today and I've set off a few hours earlier. Got my gear with me, as you can see, and I'm going to do some fishing on the Upper Severn. I passed through a village called Alberbury. Very interesting because that features very much in my own roots, because one of my ancestors, and up till that time it was all Welsh, but he was a miner from Radnorshire and he met a girl from Alberbury, which is in Shropshire in England, and it's right on the border. In fact, as you come into it, there is a sign on the one side, "Welcome to England, Shropshire," and one on the other which says, "Welcome to Wales, Montgomeryshire." So they met, they got married, they had children, and a lot of them moved back into Wales, Montgomeryshire, where we are now, and one of them in particular moved across the other way through Shropshire into Staffordshire. It's where my dad was born and consequently me. So fascinating, isn't it, when you look at your family roots and your family tree and your history. I think I'm going to settle spot just down there. It is up, it is coloured, and I need to get a place where I can present a bait easily enough. It is falling, by the way, which is also a good thing. I might need to navigate down there by taking all this gear off first, because it is quite a drop. Safety first and all that. But interesting, isn't it, your family roots? Up until then it was all Welsh, and on my nan's side as well, because her mum was Welsh. So the English came in a little bit later, which is why I often say I'm proud to be English, because I was born in England and my dad's English, my mum's English, but I'm also equally proud of my Welsh roots. Cymru and Beth. Right, let's see if we can catch some fish, some Welsh fish as well. First cast a small chub, and one without a dorsal fin, or at least just a stump there. It is a tight spot, lots of nettles as well. I've got a willow tree just behind me there, that's upstream, so that's deflecting a lot of the current, in fact all of it actually, into the main flow. And I've got an eddy just in front of me. Reminds me of the old Mr. Crabtree book that I had when I was a child. He used to fish the eddy in high water. It's quite deep as well, relatively speaking, for the Upper Severn. So I've got 4-5 feet of water dropping off right in front of me. Fishing with a quiver tip. It's a 3/8 of an ounce lead. The bead, the shot, size 16 Drennan super specialist hook and a white maggot, and I'm fishing with 4-pound Drennan Team England hook length. So I've done a loop to loop on my reel line, dropping it in just off the rod tip. I've got some brown crumb and mixed maggots in there, so I'm periodically trickling that in to keep the fish interested, and I'm catching lots of small chub at the moment. Who knows how the short session will develop, but a fish every single cast. I'm not complaining. I tell you what though, I do love the Upper Severn. It's very much part of my own angling journey, especially working in Wales as I do. I can come here and have a couple of hours, even like I am this morning. I wouldn't be able to justify travelling all this way with petrol costs ordinarily, but making the most of every opportunity, tagging things onto what you do, it's the way to go in life, isn't it? Certainly as far as angling is concerned. Nice plop there. I've got a rod rest. It is a very steep bank that I'm on, so I'm angled and all my gear's behind me. Not very neat. This isn't your manicured lawn type setting. Oh, and a little pull there. I missed that one. But always very, very encouraging indeed. Right, cast out again and I'll be back with another fish. There's something scattering the fry just underneath the trees that you can see. There's a branch hanging over. Could be a pike, hopefully not. However, it could be a perch or a chub. Hopefully that's the case. We shall see. Whatever's there, it isn't deterring the small fish that I'm continuing to catch. All chub so far. After lots and lots of chub, a Welsh gudgeon. First dace as well. Lots and lots of small fish, 3 species as well, but I've gone for £6 line straight through and a size 14 hook, and I'm going to thread a couple of maggots on there, and I've dropped down the lead as well to 1/8. Didn't need the 3/8. The river's actually falling while I'm here, and where I am, as I've already mentioned, got the eddy, so it's a little gentle swirl. Don't need that much weight on there. I'm going to go for something maybe bigger, an all or nothing approach. Mind you, having said that, I'll probably still catch the small fish as well, because they don't seem to be bothered by the line or the hook. When they're out there feeding, they're competitive, they'll take your bait. Right, let's drop this one in very, very gently. Let it sink. Tighten up to it slightly. Won't get too much of that because it's just a small lead. But then with the current just gently pulling it, I think that's about right. You don't want something that's too light. I did have a small fish attacking the bait there. No sucked maggots. That's a good sign. I think this is a good way to end the second half of the session. I caught 4 species of fish. Didn't need the net once, but I enjoyed it. That's the important thing. On my way to work now. First up will be to write a match preview for this weekend's game, and then a press conference interview with our head coach, Craig Harrison. If you're a Crystal Palace or Middlesbrough fan, you may remember him from a few years ago now when he played for those respective clubs.